Henyard is seen in this video getting involved in the chaos. Her lawyer claims someone from outside Dalton who attended the meeting swung a knife at the mayor's boyfriend.
These men are attacking him with a deadly weapon, and the mayor, fearing for his safety, did go toward that crowd, risking getting hurt herself.
So the supermayor has now put out a hit piece against Jedediah Brown. That's the guy who's been involved in 2 altercations while she has been mayor. And I'm going to tell you, people, it looks like she's got an argument. Watch this. Now, this is Jedediah Brown, and for those of you who don't know, he runs the channel Investigate and Advocate with Jedediah Brown. Now, Jedediah is one of those advocates that like to get physical, it seems. Here he is 7 years ago at a Trump rally where things got physical.
Pandemonium. And in one indelible moment, a young activist named Jedediah Brown rushed the empty stage. He told us about that day at a town hall we held in Chicago.
We saw what Donald Trump's campaign was doing all across the country. We seen black bodies being pushed around. We saw people getting punched in the face. And I didn't shut down his rally. Chicago did.
Now, with all of that context, let's get into the supermayor's hit piece against Jedediah Brown.
The violence at the town meeting last week has been grossly misreported by pretty much all outlets as far as we can.
At a local board meeting outside of Chicago, with the self-proclaimed super mayor Tiffany Henyard at the center.
The story has been about the mayor getting involved in what we'll call a brawl in town hall. But no one, from what I can see, has bothered to look carefully at what happened. The truth has been lost in the spectacle.
Now, I got to stop it right here because this guy is definitely throwing the first punch. So, if their argument number one is that their side didn't start the fight, this video seems to clearly show that. Now, it's hard to see behind this pillar, but you do see the guy throwing the punch at Tiffany Henyard's boyfriend first. So it seems like they started throwing punches first.
And to begin with, the man who started the whole problem that night at Town Hall is
displaying gang signs. It's a nice touch from the lawyer. That's a nice touch.
Certainly not some concerned citizen who's there to speak his mind. That's how he has been portrayed, but that is false. This man's name is Jedediah Brown, and Jedediah Brown is not just some random citizen who has an opinion. This is a person who's created a whole social media campaign for himself by essentially stalking the mayor.
All right, here's a quick public service announcement. Anyone who watches my videos and is entertained by the super mayor, I am asking, but I already assume that no one was dumb enough to go and harass or stalk the woman. She's under FBI investigation. She's got all these things happening. The law will come for Tiffany Henyard soon enough. Do not take the law into your own hands, and you only make her a more sympathetic figure. It's counterproductive to harass her. It's counterproductive to stalk her. She's tearing it all down herself. So, I'm not even saying Jedediah did it because I haven't watched the rest of this video. But if you are someone who's thinking, I'm going to go and call her and start harassing her, don't do it. Stop now. You don't want to find yourself behind bars, and it's just not worth it.
Out today, this is your boy Jedediah Brown. You're on location, reporting to you live at Thornton Township's meeting. I've kind of sort of been out already scouting the spot. Yeah.
So I won't be cutting off my camera. Kamal just arrived here and he won't smoke, so I'm definitely, it's cool. And what I'm gonna do is wait for the next resident to go into that building, and I'm gonna ask them if I could be in there with them, because they shouldn't be able to stop me if I'm just simply here accompanying another resident. This is what one-man protest look like. Checking the door. How you doing?
Okay.
So, right.
What's up, man? What's your name and badge number?
Oscillate 114.
I'm trying to get their attention. I'm trying to get in there.
Yeah, they got your attention because they called us.
Good. So I said, all right, it's cold. Let me step right here too.
No, they don't want you to go.
But you came in, you went in there.
Get it? Do your job. I get it.
Mike, I don't say that lightly. He actually has been stalking the mayor when she's with her family in her private time. He has come to her home.
I'm not coming to you, bitch. You come to me.
Now, I didn't know this was happening, and they dropping receipts. If he is at her home at night like this is totally unacceptable. Totally unacceptable. I got to call it out. What type of person would I be if I would call out everything else but not call out this obvious harassment? That's harassment. Outside the house with a bullhorn at night and she's got kids. Tiffany, she has a beef. She has a beef against Jedediah. He shouldn't be doing this. He should not be doing this. Period.
People saying you went to her mama house. You went to her mama house. You didn't expect for her to respond?
Yeah, people. This is stalking harassment. What the hell is he doing at her mama house? Why is he going to her mother's house? Like, really? Really? Come on.
Absolutely expected for her to respond.
To create a spectacle. And when that happened, the mayor even went so far as to pursue a restraining order against him at the beginning of January. And this is the guy that came into town hall and had this interaction that led to the violence.
Now, I'm not going to look it up, but I'm not sure if they got a restraining order or just asked for one, because he said they petitioned for one, they asked for one, but that doesn't mean they got one. So you got to understand that lawyer double talk sometimes.
At the meeting, when we really look at the video, if you take it frame by frame, what hasn't been reported but what is there, is that this guy Jedediah Brown didn't just come into the meeting. The man was armed with a knife. The man drew that knife, and the man swung that knife at Kamal Woods.
So now they're saying that what Jedediah has here in his hand is a knife. But I think it's more likely a microphone. So I rewinded it back. You see, the microphone is pushed down, then Jedediah actually pushes it down even further. Now, as they start tussling a little bit, he reaches back right here and grabs the mic and then starts using the mic to bludgeon these guys. And if you look right here, the mic is actually not on the mic stand anymore, meaning that mic is in Jedediah's hand. So it's not a knife. It's clear it's not a knife. The lawyer's lying and calling it a knife. It is a microphone.
Mr. Woods did not lay a hand on anybody prior to being attacked physically by Mr. Brown. And a second person who's seen in the fight, who's not just a citizen either. That individual is a former employee of Dalton, fired for hiding his sex offender status.
That's because Redmond is listed as a child sex offender on the Illinois State Police Registry. He served 24 years of a 50-year sentence for taking part in the brutal gang rape and beating of 2 young girls in the Roseland neighborhood in 1991. News reports at the time say Redmond was one of 4 young men who kidnapped the girls and took them to an abandoned garage where they were sexually assaulted and beaten with boards and guns.
Now, if you watch the full news clip, Redmond was close friends with Tiffany Henyard, and she hired him and tried to hide the fact that he had this criminal past. You know what? I'm going to play the full news clip for you now so you have the full context.
46-year-old Lavelle Redmond is close friends with Dalton Mayor Tiffany Henyard, who in September hired Redmond as a code enforcement officer without the village board's approval. Redmond served 25 years in prison for the brutal gang and beating of 2 young teenage girls in the 1990s, and was arrested and charged after our first story aired for violating the reporting requirements of the sex offender registry. But Mayor Henyard says her friend deserves a second chance.
And these are the 2 people that attacked Kamal Woods, one of them with a knife that somehow he was able to get into that meeting through the security.
Now, this lawyer is actively lying. He's being deceptive. I assume he knows that's not a knife. I assume he saw this thing. They said, look at it frame by frame, which we just did. He knows this is not a knife, but he's trying to lie to the public. This is disgusting.
And in that circumstance, these men are attacking him with a deadly weapon, and the mayor, fearing for his safety, did go toward that crowd, risking getting hurt herself. But he was at risk. This is her boyfriend. This is an important man in her life, her source of support, and he was being threatened with a deadly weapon, and that was going on at the time. The story has been reported as if the mayor's boyfriend caused a fight and the mayor jumped in it. But that is simply not the truth. And the video itself, when taken piece by piece and looked at frame by frame, shows it.
Now, I'll be fair here. I think it shows that the boyfriend didn't start the fight, but I also think it does not show definitively that there was any knives. He's saying, oh, look at this knife, when it's clearly a microphone. So, and this is what happens when you try to lie about everything. The stuff that you say that is truthful is now questioned because you've lied so much.
But literally, so far, nobody seems to care. No, I haven't seen anybody that cares about that fact. That's extraordinary. You know, Mr. Woods spoke to a stalker who just made inflammatory and inappropriate comments to a mayor. Anybody that talked like that to a mayor of Chicago is going to be out of that room. But it was allowed to happen. And he's allowed to come in there armed with a knife, and then Mr. Woods speaks to him. All he did was speak to him. He gets attacked by these two guys. And he gets hurt. I mean, Kamal Woods got injured. He went to the hospital. And all of this is borne out by the video evidence. But that's not the story being told on TV. That's not the story that's told in social media. This is about a corrupt mayor causing a brawl in town hall. Yeah, that's sensational. That gets clicks and all that.
With breaking news, a fist fight breaks out at Tiffany Henyard's Thornton Township meeting tonight.
But it has nothing to do with reality. Truth is overawed by spectacle and sensationalism. And that event at Town Hall and the way that it's been handled is really a microcosm for how Mayor Henyard's been handled for months, if not longer. Political enemies put out false stories about a corrupt mayor stealing from the town. That's a story. And those stories get treated like truth. Facts don't matter, video doesn't matter. All that matters is what's going to be sensational. That's the experience that she's had. Truth, overawed by spectacle. And, you know, this man, Jedediah Brown, who was at the meeting, is nothing more than I suppose, a pathetic symptom of a greater disease. This is a disease of social media fiction metastasized.
Now, the mayor here and her legal counsel went disgustingly low here and put in this video Jedediah's attempt at self-deletion. I'm going to blur it so you can still hear what he's saying, but they literally put it in the video.
Into popular culture fact. And that's what this mayor has been experiencing for months, and it's dangerous. This man's an armed predator who stalks the mayor so he can scream it all out. And people enjoy that. He makes inflammatory comments so he can put up videos of himself online, feel important in his life. And other people hear it. Flames of false anger get fueled when violence happens, and that's what happens. And that's unfortunate, but that's the truth.
Residents of Dalton, as you can see, I have been attacked, stalked by individuals that have been hired by Trustee Kiana Belcher, Trustee Jason House, Trustee Tammy Brown, and Trustee Brittany Norwood. All hired these individuals to come into our town and create chaos.
Now that is defamatory if they can prove that she knows that's not true, because obviously she has no evidence of that. And she's now trying to say that the trustees hired these people to come after her and stalk her and all this stuff. So, you know, but again, this is where I think they go too far. If they would have just said, hey, listen, here's this guy's background. This is the person who's stalking me. Then you have it. But now by trying to tie him into the trustees by saying they paid me for it, doesn't nobody believe that? And now she's lost the credibility of the video.
Individuals have so much hate for me that they are willing to do anything to put me, my daughter, my family in harm's way.
Hello. How you doing? I'm the advocate that's been challenging Mayor Henyard. I know you're her mom.
What happened?
You're Mayor Henyard's mother, right? Where's her mom available?
Now, Jedediah is wrong for this. We got to call it what we see it, people. Why the hell is he at her mom's house? Jedediah is wrong. This is crazy. This is insane old stuff. He should be made to answer. You don't go to her mom's house. If you have a problem with her, why are you going to her mom's house? Talking about your advocating. That's ridiculous. But now, because the video has so many other lies in it, we can't get mad at Jedediah for this, even though I personally think this is ridiculous and what he's doing is pretty much stalking. But come on, this is always my problem with propaganda. There's some truth in this, but there's so many blatant lies that the truth gets lost amongst the lies. So that's the super mayor's take on what happened at the brawl, and that's her hit piece against Jedediah Brown and trying to link him to the trustees. At the end of the day, I think what Jedediah was doing, going to her mama's house, going to her house late at night, I think all those things are unacceptable, and I think that is harassment and stalking. I think he should stop that immediately. That is not helpful, and it's honestly, it could be criminal. I believe that that's wrong, and I think Jedediah is wrong for doing that. I think the lawyer trying to make the microphone look like a knife is also wrong, and I think that's unethical because you can clearly see that's the microphone he grabbed. And this other thing about trying to connect the trustees and Jedediah in some type of paid relationship, also I think that's just full of crap. But tell me where I'm wrong in the comment section. Tell me if you see anything differently than I've seen it here. This is us reacting to the super mayor's attempt to change the narrative and claim she is the victim. So, as always, if you like, share, subscribe, blog, your YouTube stuff. My name is Nate the Lawyer, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.